It is the start of day 44 of the Zombie Hunter build. It is extremely hot today. It's going to be 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm trying to not work in the sun as much because it is dangerous out here. On top of that, it's going to thunderstorm in a few hours, so I need to work quickly. So I'll probably do most of my stuff indoors. But what I do plan on doing today is working on these fenders. And these are the fender flares that I bought off of eBay. Relatively cheap. And because they're cheap, they don't fit well. So I'm playing around with it and trying to get the fitment as close to ideal as possible. It's difficult, but you know, this is about as good as it gets. And because I did also the body work, so it wasn't completely perfect. And these fender flares are not perfect, but this truck isn't perfect, you know, and it's going to be beat, so it's that's okay. What I have to do though is, you see how this is notched here? These fender flares come notched, and that's because G-wagons typically have a trim piece here. It's kind of like in a C shape, and these fit into that. I'm not going to run that. I plan to build some sort of sliders or something along the bottom here, possibly adapting Jeep sliders to fit, and then we'll see. But I don't need that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this all in with fiberglass and get it to fit that way. So this is about as good as it's going to get. We'll see. I'll try to work with it and bend it. I don't want to create too much torsion on there. I don't want to create too much flex because I'm worried that it might crack if it's under stress. So what you see is what you get, you know. But it's gonna look a lot better once I have these on there, and I'll get a little bit of coverage, you know, for these new tires that I put on. So that's good too. This side fits a little bit better, and I don't know if that's because I took more attention to what I was doing on this side, or it was a little bit less work. I don't know. But so this side fits a little bit nicer, you know, but it's still sticking out there, and you know, I have to play with it. The fronts, so the front of the truck is gonna fit better, and that's only because I'm cutting the fender flares. They come out like down to here. I'm gonna cut them at this line on each side of the truck. So the fender flare coverage is only gonna be from this point on and down, and that'll, you know, I don't want it to inhibit my approach angle, and I have, you know, all this tire will be exposed up to here, and then I'll get a little bit of coverage. So that's the plan. I'm gonna do the fiberglass work right now, get it going, and hopefully get them. So the thing is, I'm gonna paint these with, or roll them with Monster Liner as well. I kind of like the look of the black, but I think there's too much black going on now. So it kind of, you know, it doesn't look. There's too much black going on. So what I think it'll look better if I have this color on the fender flares. You know, it'll look more uniform, and then it'll break up all that black that's going on right there. Alright, so now what I have to do is I'm taking this fiberglass cloth, and I'm going to mix up some resin and fiberglass these, put a little bit of fiberglass cloth in this little space here that's you know, it's opened up, and I'll seal it that way. And then after I'm done with that, then I'm going to use Bondo glass and go over that once that's finishes drying. I'll put some Bondo glass there and cover that up. You know, just seal it up completely, make it nice and smooth, sand it all down, and you'll never know that these were there. After that, I'm going to sand these all down entirely, and then spray them with 2K epoxy primer. So I plan on covering these with the Monster Liner, but just to ensure that the Monster Liner adheres to the fiberglass, I'm going to sand everything down with 80 grit, go over it then with 320 maybe, or higher, get it nice and smooth, and then spray it with this, go over it again lightly with a one of these brown Scotch-Brite pads, and then roll it. I probably won't roll it today, but I at least want to get it all prepped and primed and ready for rolling. That way I can just go over it, wipe it down with mech, or wipe it down with or wash it with a TSP, trisodium phosphate, wipe it down with mech, and then roll it. I may, depending on how quickly I get done, I may pre-drill it and maybe cut them where I need to cut them. But initially, I want to seal up these little openings here. Alright, so now I'm test fitting the front. I still have some more work to do. I just put that initial layer there. I guess I gotta put the Bondo, but I want to add additional cloth here to fill this gap up, because there's that space and I don't want that. But here's a test fitment. You can see I'm gonna cut it along this line. Alright, just gonna go along that line, and all this will be junk. That's just excess. So you see those go along this line here. Same thing with this side. So all this is just extra bulk that I don't need. You can see how it covers up so much of my approach angle. If I remove it, I'm gonna cut it up to here, and then my approach angle will be significantly increased. So this is just testing it up right now. The same thing with this side. I need to add additional material here and put cloth there and fill that up. No, I don't like the way that it has room here. So yeah, I'll do that, fix that up. I don't know if I'm gonna get done today. We'll see. I'll try to crank out as much as I can. At least cut this now and start adding more fiberglass. Alright, so I got all the short strand fiberglass put on the fiberglass cloth with the resin. So now I have the short strand fiberglass coating it. Oh, almost lost it. And it is in the rough shape of where everything should be. Now I have to go over it again, sand it all down, make it all smooth, make sure the fitment is perfect. So I'm gonna have to mock it up against the vehicle again. You know, fine tune it, make sure that there aren't any gaps, it's not high in any places or whatever, and smooth it all out. And then sand the entire set down. Oh, another thing, I forgot. So the front of them, it's still rough too. Once I get it secured onto the vehicle, that's when I'm going to actually shape the, cut the corners and everything, just to make sure that they're the same on both sides. So I want to get as close to perfect as possible. All right, so while I wait for this fiberglass to cure, I just gotta wait for the resin to dry up. I'm going to work on this. So if you look at this, I have the TJ 5on5 tire carrier, just the adapter in the back. I have it there, and this is how it lines up on the 5on130 bolt pattern. So you can see that these are just off by a little bit. So my thinking is, if I could just possibly angle the studs to come out just a little bit, you might be able to get it to fit. I mean, it's close. So 5on5 is 5 by 127 millimeters. So we're looking at 3 millimeters off in each direction. So 3 millimeters off here. This has to come in 3 millimeters, So I'm thinking I can just mark how much I need to bang it out, and see if it's possible for me to actually just, I don't know, maybe take a sledgehammer and get it in each direction. The issue is I gotta get somehow to secure this so that I can use the sledgehammer. I might just hold it down and just give it a nice little whack, in each direction. Alright, so that was a bust. It didn't work. They were at the maximum. The studs were at the maximum, and I couldn't bend them anymore. So it was close, but then also the thread started getting a little bit screwed up. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to keep one of the studs there, the one good one, and because the other one's got a little bit stripped. But I'm going to take the one good one and cut the other ones off, and then drill out and put in 2 new studs, so that it actually fits. I initially was going to do that anyway, or that was the original plan. I just thought I'd give it a shot and see if I could just bend it, a little bit, because it wasn't off by too much, but it was off by enough that I couldn't do it. So I'll get that done, and put in the new studs, and then it'll be easy. It's gonna be off center a little bit, but that's okay. So that's it. It is too hot today. I gotta get out of here. I'm done. So until next time.